So we take this analysis of beams due to settlement of support. Already I have got a problem in the regular class. So we take up another problem including a rotation that is corresponding to kinematic independence also. So let us take up a general problem like this without any loading. A continuous beam ABCD of meter span L is equal to constant. Analyze the beam shown if by stiffness method, stiffness method gives first case support J settles down by delta. This sort of problem already I have done. Again I am doing another. If the support B rotates, if the support B rotates by theta, and this is the example I have taken here. So you can analyze this particular beam, continuous beam. If this left-hand support settles down by amount delta may be anything. I am taking a general value. Span also I am taking generally L, and support B rotates by theta. So we will work out this problem. There is no load. If load is also there, only fixed line moment you have to find out, and you have to take that PMF matrix you have to generate. Otherwise, the PMF matrix will be 0, 0, 0, and that PMF matrix will have value only for the first case. That is the support that is settles down by delta, which is not corresponding to kinematic independency. The first step is you have to find kinematic independency, which is nothing but here 2. So there are the rotations at B and C. So kinematic independency will be this coordinate 1, coordinate 2. So this B unknown displacement is D1, D2. This is coordinates of unknown displacement. That is kinematic independency, unknown displacement, which we have to determine during analysis. Then unknown member and forces which you have to determine during analysis. So that is this. We are determining only the moments at the ends of members as unknown. That is here, there are 3 members. At the ends of each of these 3 members, the moments we are determining. So that is this. To start with all moment direction, we take clockwise direction only. That is, these are the coordinate directions of the unknown forces to be determined. This is unknown forces, member and forces, to be determined during analysis. That is your PM is nothing but PM1, PM2, PM3, PM4, PM5, PM6. I will write it transpose. Instead of writing vertically, I am writing horizontally. That matters. The transpose is nothing but a vertical line. So this is what we have to determine during our analysis. That's the first step. So to find kinematic independency, have to find out what are the unknowns in the problem which you have to determine. That's member end forces and joint displacement of the joint forces, displacement. This is what you have to determine during your analysis. That matrix you have generated. And your PMF, of course, the PMF will generate during each of these cases separately. So next, second step straight away I will do is, that is to find stiffness matrix. That's your second step. You have to find the stiffness matrix. So the size of A stiffness matrix is equal to kinematic indeterminacy. That's 2 by 2. So therefore, the K matrix is the name by K11, K12, that is first row, K21, K22, the elements of that. So this is K22 matrix which we have to generate. So equal to kinematic indeterminacy. That we have to decide in second step. Now I have to determine all this. For determining this, I will use the definition stiffness. I have defined as the force due to unit displacement. So that means I have to give unit displacement corresponding to these displacement coordinates one at a time, keeping all other coordinates fixed. Then find the forces corresponding to this member here. So that is next. First, I have to give unit displacement in the direction of coordinate 1. That is d1 equals 1, d2 I have to make it 0. For finding stiffness, that is give unit displacement along each of the unknown displacement coordinates one at a time. First I will give d1 equals 1, d2 I will keep it 0. d1 equals 1 means I have to give rotation here in the clockwise direction. So this will move up, this will move down. And A, B, C, D. Now this is how I have to give displacement. This is d1 equals 1. d1 I am giving here joint, second joint, that is joint D. A joint D I am giving unit displacement. It is be like that, it will displace in that fashion. So you generate. So here the members affected are is AB. So you are getting like this. This is unit displacement, because when I give unit displacement here, so there must be a force here equal to 4 L by L. L is constant, L is L itself. Here I will get 2EL by L. And this will give you a clockwise rotation to resist this. There will be equivalent opposite force which is not required. That I don't take it. Next, this BC member which is displaced in this fashion like this. So here again there has to be a force equal to 4EL by L. Here it is 2EL by L. And here it has to be like this to keep this in equilibrium. That may not required. So this is your BC forces. And CD is not affected at all. When you give unit displacement only at D, CD is not being affected. So the displacements are 0, 0. So now you find out this coefficients. So this is not corresponding to, of course this is K11, right? Other case not corresponds to kinematic indeterminacy. This is not corresponds to kinematic indeterminacy. Here there is no kinematic indeterminacy. It is 0. You don't have to bother about this. This at B, this corresponds to K1. Then unit displacement is given at 1 itself. This again a B corresponds to 1 when unit displacement is given at 1 itself. This, it is a C. This corresponds to 2 when unit displacement is given at 1. That has to get 1. So therefore, A11 is Fourier by L, that is 80 by L, because both are same direction, same is clockwise. And K21 is 2E by L clockwise. So K11, K21 we have determined. Next, K12, K22. For that, we have to give unit displacement in the direction of 2. That is, at C, we have to give unit displacement here. So this will go up, this will come down. Like that. To give displacement corresponds to 2. Here at C, this goes up, this comes down. So this is that unit. Here at 1, there at 2. The affected members are AB is 0, 0, and BC, it has undergone displacement like this. 1 unit. Here, this is 4EA by L, this is 2EA by L. Resistance is like this, it will not be used here. And this is 2EA by L. Here, this is B, C, A, B, and CD. CD has gone like that. Unit displacement, so this has to be 4EA by L, here 2EA by L, here to resist this will be there, it will not be used. So these are the forces developed, C, D. So this force is corresponds to second coordinate or first coordinate. So this is corresponds to first coordinate when unit displacement is given at second coordinate, K12. This is K22 because it corresponds to 2, that is 2 at C, when unit displacement is at 2 itself. Here, this is also K22 because that's also at C. This is not required at all. So therefore, A12 is 2EA by L and K22 is 4EA by L, 4EA by L is 80 by L. Therefore, K matrix is nothing but EA by L and take it outside. K11 is 8, K2 is 2, 2, 8. K11, K21, K12, K2. So this is what K matrix. I have developed all the thickness matrix. So then we can find out A inverse, which is nothing but 1 over L by 60 divided into L minus 2 minus 2. This is delta determinant of this 64 minus 4, 60. Adjoint of this matrix is that cofactors. So this is di by L. So it's a 2 by 2 matrix, so inversion is easy. Whereas in the earlier problem it was 3 by 3, that's maximum, so inversion is then next, third step, that is what case 1. I will take it. Case 1 and third step. So, case 1 is support case, it is down by delta. So here, this support A. Settled down by delta A, B, C. Is your case 1. Support A settles down by this much. When this support A settles down, right, you will get a force here, you will get a force opposite. So this AB will be fixed line action. And this is settles down. Delta. Here the force will be delta by L square. Here it is 12 delta by L square. This gives an anti-clockwise moment. So you will get clockwise moments here equal to 6 delta by L square. This is 6 delta by L square. So because of this settlement, the fixed end actions are this. So that EMF I will generate for this case 1. EMF means there is no other load. If load is there, due to that fixed end action, you have to take it. Now, due to settlement, there is a fixed end action. So this is nothing but, this is clockwise positive 6EI delta by L square corresponds to PM1, PM2 is again 6EI delta by L square and corresponds to PM3, PM4, PM5, PM6, it is 0. That is my PMF matrix. That PMF matrix I can generate in the first step as I did in the usual procedure because I took it here because there are 2 cases. If there was only 1 case, then I would have generated the PMF in the first step itself. Now, this is my PMF generated, so I can use this one straight away. So we have, because this is third step, we have D is equal to K inverse PD. We have to find displacements because of this. So this is nothing but PD. I have not yet PD is nothing but Pj minus PMF. Pj is joint load, there are no joint loads, only member loads are there. That is corresponds to D1, D2, corresponds to D1. Right? So these are the forces. Corresponds to D1, corresponds to D2, these are the forces. So here, forces are only this and this, that only this force is required, that is 6EI delta by L square. So that is PMF minus PMF we have, that is equal to minus 6EI delta by L square, that is corresponds to D1, corresponds to D2, that is here, there are no forces, it is 0. That is my PD, that you have to generate correctly. These two generally I would have done in first step, here I am doing in the third step itself, where I have to determine the displacement. Because there only I did it because there are 2 cases to be determined. One corresponds to the settlement not corresponding to the coordinates, no displacement. Another case corresponds to these coordinates. It rotates by theta, that corresponds to this theta itself. That's why this problem I have taken here. Other type of problem, this case I already have done, again I am repeating. Case 2 is the only change. So therefore, B is equal to K inverse means the L by 6 bi into 8 minus 2, now L by 60 ei 8 minus 2 minus 2, 8, that is K inverse. PD is Ei delta by L square into minus 1, 0. This I am getting later. So this L get cancelled, L 1 will get cancelled. So you have this D is equal to this much. Straight away I will write that value of D. D you are getting as delta by L into delta by L, delta by psi L into this is minus 4 and 1. This is what the displacement we are getting. Then we can find out last step, fourth step, PM. That's what we have to do today. During analysis, I have to find member and forces and displacement. Displacement I have just now determined due to this case settlement, and PM is nothing but the formula PMX plus PM2 into D. This PM2 you can generate in this itself. So PM2 is nothing but as I told you in the previous example, when unit displacement is given along the coordinates 1 and 2 corresponding to kinematic frequency 1 and time, what are the PMs generated? That is PMs generated due to unit displacement. That is PMU. So we can find out for this case, first case, PMs generated here at A, which corresponds to this, which is nothing but 2 EI by L. EI by L, I will take it outside. I will get here 2 clockwise only, positive. Then here 4 corresponds to 2, 4 EI by L. Then this corresponds to 3, it is 4, corresponds to 4, that is 2. Then corresponds to this 5 and 6, it is 0, 0. These are the first column of PM group. When unit displacement is given along 1, PMs generated. Similarly, when unit displacement is given along 2, PMs generated. Here 0, 0, that corresponds to PM1, PM2. PM3, it is 2. PM4, it is 4. PM5, it is 4. PM6, it is 2. This is that PMU matrix. It is same as here you take it. So PMF, we have generated here, I will take it 6 EI delta divided by L square into 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is my PMF matrix. I have taken 68 delta by L squared outside, that is PMF. Plus PMU you got here just now, EI by L into that I will take it. So this delta by L 5L minus 1. So EI by L, PMU EI by L into 2, 4, 4, 2, 0, 0, then 0, 0, 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 4, 4, 2. This is PMU matrix. D we have determined here, that is nothing but delta by 5n minus 4, 1. So now this is 6 by 6, 6 by 2, this is 2 by 1. So column of this is equal to row of this, resulting in the 6 by 1 matrix multiplication is possible. So this 6 by 1, this is 6 by 1, you can add it because they are of same order, you will get this PM. it is nothing but 6 by 1. This, if you complete it for case 1, that is when support A settles down by delta, you will get that force. I have the result here. So finally, I can show you here. So therefore, this final PM, because we have determined PM, which unknown member and force. These are the two things which I told in first step itself of the calcium kinematic technology that I have determined. So PM, I will get, if you multiply that PM2 and D added to PMF, you will get the value of PM as 4.4, you can verify, and 2.8, and minus 2.8. Naturally, this is PM1, PM2 plus PM3 has to be 0. MBA, MBC, it has to be 0, automatically that is 0, then minus 0.8 plus 0.8, then we will get 0.4. So here also this PM3, PM4, that is MCD, CD, that also has to be 0, that automatically sets it. These are the membrane forces for that case one. When suppose A settles down by certain amount delta, I have taken generally, delta may be any value. So I have taken a general problem, when I have taken the settlement corresponding to, not corresponding to unknown element indeterminacy. This is what I have taken. Next, case 2, that is support B rotates by theta ahead. That is corresponds to kinematic indeterminacy. That holds up at last case, case 2. This steps first and 2, same thing. Generation of stiffness matrix, D and PM, it remains same, only here to find D and to find PM, it varies. That I will do for case 2, third step. You can repeat for case 2, the first 2 steps that remain same, only the first step, that is D. Here, when the support, middle support D rotates by in the clockwise direction, rotates by theta in clockwise direction, it rotates like that. Is rotating clockwise by an amount theta. This remains same. This is D, this is J, C, and this is the displacement. For case 1, support A settles down. For case B, case 2, support B rotates by amount theta. In this case, what you have to do is, so you can use this equation. So here case 1 is rotated, I will use this equation. We have P equals PD equals K into D. It is same as that. D equals K equals PD we are using there in the case 1A, the settlement corresponds, not corresponds to kinematic indeterminacy. When it corresponds to kinematic indeterminacy, I will use this force displacement relationship. Generally, that's all the change. Here, PD is what you have to determine. I don't know, because to rotate this by an amount, that is for this coordinate, there must be a force. That force, I will call it as R star. That's the force required. So then, along coordinate 2, it is 0. There is no force. This is the change, only change. When it doesn't correspond to that. When it corresponds to the, not corresponds to that, you are finding fixed moment, you are taking. Here, this is only change. This, you have to take it, and say, already I have determined for this problem, L by L, negative 2 to right? And D here is theta corresponds to 1. It has been rotated by now theta. And D2 I don't know, because when I rotate this also will rotate. I don't know how much. That I have to do. This is the only change when that segment corresponds to the kinematic. Except if other things are also. The first step, finding D matrix, PM matrix, generation of stiffness, finding inverse. That inverse is also not required if it is corresponds to the segment corresponds to kinematic. You can use only that proceeding. That's all. Now you can finish there. You can find D2. Then once you have determined D2, unknown displacement, that is third step is none. And fourth step, say PM equals PMF plus PMUD. PMF suppose 0 because here no load I have taken only settlement. I taken that 0. PMU already have generated when doing stiffness matrix. Here you have determined here now. D1 is theta, D2 is determined. That's all the chain. Whenever this settlement it occurs corresponds to kinematic frequency, not that. That's all the chain. So we can continue this. So here from second equation. So here there are two equations. From second we have 0 equals EI by L into this 8 theta, right? Not 8 theta, 2 theta. 2 theta plus 8 d2. This is what you are getting. From first equation, EI by L, 8 theta plus 2 d2 is equal to R, because these two, let's say 2 by 2 matrix, 2 by 1 matrix, here column equals row, resulting here 2 1 matrix. This also 2 by 1. In that first row corresponds to that first, second corresponds to this. And then second equation. This is the second equation, or you can say 8d2 is equal to minus 2 theta. This here cannot be 0. Only 2 theta plus 8d2 is 0. Therefore, L d2 is this, or d2 equals minus theta by 4. So when I give the notation here for this problem, there is a notation here at C equal to 1/4 of that earlier notation with opposite. So this is that is your third step. That's the only change. Then last step to find PM, in this case 2 PM, that same equation. PM equals, we have PM equals EMF plus PMU into D. So PM is equal to PMF is 0, that is corresponds to that PM matrix, PM1, PM2, PM3, PM4, PM5, PM6, PMA, PMBA, MBC, MCD, MCD. This is the sum 0 plus PMU, that is EI by L. We have generated EI by L into 2, 4, 4, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 4, 4, 2. This is my PMU. D, I have determined here T1, T2. D1 is theta, D2 is minus theta by 4. So that is theta into 1
minus 1 by 4.
1 by 4. So this you can multiply because this is 6 by 2, this is 6 by 2, 2 by 1, this row column equal 6 by 1. This is 6 by 1, you can add it. So this is 6 by 3. So that is about analysis due to settlement. When corresponds to kinematic indigency, not corresponding to kinematic indigency. This is, with this, all beam problem, rigid frame, sway, non-sway, both same similar procedure. Only the translation you have to generate stiffness method. That's the only change as indicated. So with this, we have completed all beam and truss rigid frame type of problems. This is by system approach, as I told you, because analysis of displacement and member end forces, both D and PM. We are determining with respect to system coordinate only, not with local or member coordinates. So this is called system approach. We have shown that. So both the truss problem I'll do by element approach, that is finite element procedure, because truss we are getting inclined members. Here all members will be in the orthogonal direction, beams as well as rigid, orthogonal or rectangular planes. They are all orthogonal. All our displacement and force analysis corresponding to global coordinates or Cartesian coordinate or system coordinates only. That's why it is called system approach. The element approach with respect to local coordinates, we generate local coordinates, what is Km, stiffness matrix, transform into global and procedure. In fact, that is the exact procedure which we write programs on computers and we do the analysis. That truss problem I do is this, that is little bit lengthy. This is short for hand computation. System approach is suitable. For element approach, I will do only one truss problem, that one small problem, and do it with that. The system approach of stiffness method will be